Hi, this is Erin from Blossy Bee. Welcome to my channel. The plan for this video is to create some coasters using an eco casting compound AR400. It's a very beginner-friendly tutorial focusing on measuring, mixing and colouring eco casting compounds. This is a two-part series, so in the next video, part 2, I will be decorating the coasters we make using several different techniques, but I am going to include a sneak peek towards the end of this video. Part 1 of this series, this video, was filmed back in early February, just after I'd had hand surgery. So if you're wondering why I've got a cast back on my hand, it's because this was filmed back then. I'm looking forward to sharing this with you. Let's get started. So I'm going to try to use the Istoyo mixer with AR400 casting powder for the first time. So a little bit nervous about that, but just try and bring, whoops, I'll just pop that into the side for the moment so we can see the weights. Okay, so I'm going to put my cup on there and zero that out. And I think I'm going to make, look, this is Julie Cutz's From Pouring Your Heart Out 10 centimetre round coaster mould. They're not very high. I don't think I'm going to need a lot. So let's see, I think I'll make up 30 grams of water. So I've got my water here. Actually, I'm just thinking, I'll make 40. 42, that's fine. And as always, I have got 2 paper cups together because the powder can be abrasive on the bottom, and I definitely don't know how it's going to react with the mixer. Sorry, a little bit of a blop. So I'm going to use the ARC Pigment in Mulberry, and I think I'm just going to pop in 2 drops at the moment. So I'm just going to give that a little swirl round. Try and get that blended. Okay, so we know that that's 40, so that means we need 3 fours, which is 120 grams of powder. Oh my goodness, that was almost perfect. Which never happens. So that's right. So move that over to there, and we will move that around here. I'm a little bit nervous about this because I don't know if the mix is going to cope or not, but we'll find out together. Okay, so I'll just... Oh, that's funny noise. Ah. Okay. Well, it's mixing. Just try and get all the bits on the side. It's mixing really well. Okay. I'll turn this off. And then what's going to happen here? I'm just going to end up with a mess, I think, but that's okay. Comes with a little silicone tray underneath. And just to be on the safe side, I'm going to give it a quick pour just myself, because you don't want any sort of nooks and crannies, you know, somewhere where the mixer didn't get to have unmixed colouring. Okay. Pop that in. Oh dear. Life with one hand in a splint is very exciting. Okay, so let's see how far we can get with this mixture. Well, that's good. We can get two, hopefully. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Well, that's amazing. All right, well, we'll go again just quickly. I really don't know what's happening with the colour, but as much as I'm tempted to add a little bit more in to try and get it to look like that. Ah! That was silly. Oh, that was sillier. Oh goodness, I'm giving you a what not to do. I'm not very happy with myself for doing that. Look, I'm wondering if I should add just the world's teeniest, tiniest little bit. I'll give this a try. These pigments are made in Australia. They're made by Just Resin, and highly pigmented, as you can see. And they are perfect for any of your casting powders, eco resins, concrete powders, things like that. I think I'm going to end up with two different colours. Oh, did not want that to happen. Oh well. This is terrible. Maybe I put 3 drops into the first one. I don't know. Anyway, there we go. Now, I don't think I really thought this next bit through, but I do need to, do a bit of tapping, and I don't think I can do it with Alright, well, I guess they they are what they are. So I'll come back. This has got about a 45-minute curing time. So I'll come back in about that time and demold, and we'll just see what we've got. So it's about 1 hour after pouring, and let's have a look. Oh, I'm only literally just picking that up. And look at that. A beautiful coaster, not one single bubble. I'll move them slightly to the side here. And we've got our second one here. There's a couple of patches of white, which could be due to me not mixing the pigment properly. But again, no bubbles. Oh, they just feel so nice. And look, the colour's evened out. What's that? Oh no, it's glitter. God. Oh, I just demolded a project this morning with glitter. Anyhow, well, I'm really happy with those. They look great. So I might do another one straight away. That's the great thing with these, with this resin, is that this eco resin is that you can actually do that with no issues at all. So I'm just going to get a bit of tape, and I'm going to just clean the mould, and we'll see if we can have another go. So I think what I'll do this time, now that I know that ratio, which was 40 grams of water to 120 grams of the eco casting powder. So now we know that that's worked. I think what I'll do, so that made up 2 coasters. So I'm going to make a double batch this time, and that should mean I've got enough for the 4 coasters. So I'm just going to sit these up here for the moment, but when I'm finished, I will pop them onto a cake rack tray, just so that they can keep drying out properly. So we'll move that over there and we'll get started. So I'll grab some cups. So I can reuse the cup, the bottom cup from before, and then the top cup, when it's completely dried out, I can just sort of bang it on the table and then wipe it out with a dry cloth, and that's ready to go again. Okay, so the other thing is that the Istoyo mixer gets a huge thumbs up from me for mixing this really well, which I would not be able to do with my hand at the moment. Okay, so we'll switch things up a bit. So this one, we were able, I'll pop that one up there. Oh, you probably can't. I'll just try and tilt my camera up. So I've just set those 4 up there. And what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to make them back the front, which is often how I normally would. So we'll get the mixer set in there. We'll get the scales. I'll move this to the side. And this time, remember, so last time I used 40 water and then 40 times 3 is 120. So I need 240 grams of powder. So we'll get that underway. And this will be a good test to show us, you know, which is the best way of mixing, what sort of consistency of colours we can get. Whoop. So remember, we're looking for 240. Just noticed I've got some on the edge there and I've got some on the scales, so I'll just clean all that off and just checking. I don't think I managed to get any on there, which is good. Alright, so that is our 240 grams of water, powder of the AR 400, and now I've zeroed it back, and now we're going to pop in 80 grams of water, because remember we had 40 each time before, so we're going for 80. I don't know if the sound's picking that up as bloop, 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 bloop. It's very cute. Oh, a little bit too much water there, but I'm not going to panic. I haven't ever really pushed this material by switching up, you know, or doing it by guessing. I guess I feel like that if the manufacturers suggest the way to do it, that's the way I've been able to follow it. But I do know I've had times when it hasn't quite been exactly right, and, you know, it's worked out okay. So straight away, I am worried if I turn this on, is it going to... Ooh, this is not fun, doing it this way. Oh. Okay, so what's happening is that the powder, hang on, I'll try and turn it on a little bit stronger. No, it's just not wanting to work at all. Something's... Oh, I think I've broken my mixer with that, which is a shame. I doubt I've broken it. It's just... I'll turn it off. I just think that that pressure was way too much. So that's a good lesson learnt straight up. So this will be interesting to see whether I can adequately stir with one hand, and remembering that that one hand is not very strong and I can barely hold with the other one. Anyway, look, we'll give it our best shot. So just trying to... This is a completely different experience to before. So this is not fun and it's not easy. So I'm guessing that what happens is that when you put the powder in first and then put the liquid on top, you know, obviously that powder starts compacting. and pushing down, and it becomes more difficult to stir. Now I've managed, I'm just going to try with the mixer. No, it's definitely dyed. I'll try again. No, it's not working. That's okay. We will give it a rest and I can investigate that later. Okay, so because I put a double batch of water and powder in here, I'm going to put 4 drops of the pigment, the AR400 Mulberry. So 1, oh, hang on, not quite 1. 1 giant one, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we'll give that a good stir. And of course, if you were looking for highly marbled finish, you would have just given it a very quick stir. But I'm trying to get a consistent colour for the project I have in mind. So let's see how we go. All right, now I just want to, before I do that, just want to clean up a bit. Cannot bear having it that messy. Let's have a look. This is that Kmart silicone mat that I mentioned in a previous video. I think it's a pet eating mat or floor protection mat, and I'm loving it so far. Okay, I think I'm just going to get this in, so I'm not sure how to avoid those sort of, whoops, that's a bit much, circles that I've made. A bit odd, isn't it? Okay, so what I need to do is get some out of there, and I think what I'll do is I'll just use a spoon and pop it into here. When Julie makes some moulds, well, like a lot of people who make moulds, she likes to use up the space with another little sort of a bonus mould, which is always cute. Okay. And I'm wondering if maybe I had a little bit extra, because of course you always lose a little bit with each cup, and I probably lost half the amount this time as I did before, because I only had the 1 cup. Okay, so we'll see if we can clean this up a bit. I'm not going to be too fussed if I can't, because the AR400 casting powder is just an absolute dream to tidy up afterwards, whether that's with by sanding, or whether it's actually just even, you know, getting little bits off with your finger. All right, I feel like I'm making a mess. I'm going to stop. Let's get out of the mask. Somebody stop me. But there isn't anybody here. So it's me and my self-control. All right, I shall give it a bit of a tap. I'm just not sure what that is or was. Maybe. I'm not quite sure. I haven't ever really played around with, you know, doing sort of, you know how when you're working with resin you can swirl it around and, you know, do stuff like that. I've never really done that with eco casting powders. Ah, look. That, hold it up, was a little clump of powder, so I'm glad I did get that out. Because what could have happened is that when I came to do moulding, and if I'm sanding, that could have come out in a clump and left a little dent. All right, well, I think we just leave it. This one, it's really difficult for me at the moment with my eye after having eye surgery. I can't really see out of it very well at the moment, to be honest, and I'm finding my whole perspective on things is quite off. So it's difficult for me to look at that and think, oh, that's fallen, that's a bit, needs topping up. But anyway, look, we'll give it a go. And I'll leave this one for about 45 minutes again and come back to demould. So about an hour later, we've got these ready to go. Again, they're just pretty much demoulding themselves. Now this is the one that I did over pour ever so slightly. And see, there's just a couple of teeny tiny little pieces on there. You can break them off just gently with your nails or finger. You can run a deburring tool around them very gently like this. And yeah, there we go, perfect. Okay, so let's have a look at this one compared. I've just got a bit of that. When you sand an eco resin, you often get, or you get this fine powder, which I was silly putting on there, but it can come off on your fingers a little bit. Don't know if you can see that. And that's okay. So I'm going to compare this one to this one. And I'm not seeing much of a difference at all in the one that was mixed with the water first and then the drops, and then using the Istoyo mixer. And this one, which was powder first, water second, and then mixed by hand. Okay, so we'll put these, as I said, they're just virtually demoulding themselves. I'll just tap, I shouldn't have deburred that over this. I'll just tap that onto my little rubbish pot. And not one single bubble again. Perfect. I've never seen anything like this with demoulding. You just touch them and they pop out. It's just amazing. And we've got that one. And lastly, this one. So the same as before, these do have those tiny little pale marks on them. But apart from that, they are just perfect. So let's see what our little heart looks like. And yeah, just gorgeous. So after these had been curing for, I normally say a few days, but in this case it was a few months, I seal them with this lovely liquid sealer, and it's from Harry & Wilmer, the same as the AR400 Eco Casting Powder. And I just wanted to show you there, you put on the first coat and it goes quite dark quite quickly, and the second one it barely changes, which shows you how protected it is. Thank you so much for watching this video. As I said, it is only part 1 of a 2-part series. So sneak preview as promised of what we're going to be getting up to in the next video. And please join me in part 2 to see how we came up with this pretty little set of coasters. Bye for now.